Hey, what up, though? This is DJ Rell Life, and I'm gonna give a review on Kendrick Lamar new album, Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. I love this album. I don't even know how to start off, but I love the album just straight up. Of course, like any other album, I was a little bit worried that most of the artists who have an underground buzz, once they get signed to a major, they pretty much change up their entire style. They compromise themselves, to get radio play. They sell out, whatever the case may be. And I'm just glad that Kendrick didn't do it. He kept his same formula. This flat out is just a great album, a great concept album. I understand why he got upset when the photos of the album leaked out because the photos play a part in the story of the album. Like the photos tell a story, as far as the pictures with his family, the minivan, all that plays its part. And this is, like I said, this is just a great concept album. People don't even do albums like this anymore. I think the last album that was like that was the Roots Undone album, which is just a concept album where you had to listen to it from beginning to the end. And let me just go through it, look through the iPod right quick, and go through some of the standout songs. Um, I like all of them. Um, the Art of Peer Pressure is a standout song I like. Uh, Poetic Justice, even though I'm not a Drake fan at all, I could care less that he's on there. But the production by Scoop DeVille, just for him to sample Janet Jackson's "Anytime, Any Place," it's just dope. It's a dope record. Good Kid, with Pharrell production on that. M.A.A.D City, for him to even put one of the OGs of the game, MC8 from Compton Most Wanted. MC8 kills it. Another one of my favorite tracks, "Sing About Me." It's a dope record. Compton, obviously, is a banger produced by Just Blaze, featuring Dr. Dre. Those are some of the standout tracks, but the entire album is just a great album. I usually don't say that, and all the way through. And is you have a great album when you don't even have when you're a Dr. Dre artist and Dr. Dre doesn't produce not one album. I mean, he engineered and mixed the album, and you can hear it, but he didn't produce not one track. So that's great in itself. And it's just a I don't know what else to say. It really is a great album. Um, and just also I wanted to say I noticed on Twitter immediately before it even came out last week. It leaked out last week. Immediately, people were saying that this is a classic. I think we use that word too much. You hear a lot of artists when they promote their record. Oh, my album's a classic. You gotta check it out. Classic, classic, classic. This album definitely has potential years later down the line to be a classic. Um, any album from the past that was a classic, whether it was Michael Jackson Off the Wall, whether it was Illmatic, whether it was Reasonable Doubt, Doggy Style, you knew instantly that it was good or great albums. But you didn't know until years later, because of what was playing years later, that the album was a classic. So I think it's just a little bit premature to say that this album is a classic. It's a really great album. Take nothing away from it. It's really a great album, but I just think it's too early to just say it's a classic. But it is a great album. Like I said, I'm glad that he didn't compromise his style. Just because he got signed to a major, that he kept his original his format, what he normally does, and the way that he painted a picture. He makes you listening to the album is like a movie. It's like he's taking you to his hood in Compton and what he goes through, what normal people go through who come up in the inner city, dealing with hanging with your friends, neighborhood girl on the block, crime, drugs, the skits. Like everything is just great on the album, to the lyrics, the beats, and to the skits. You have to hear the skits. And anyone coming up from a black family, hearing this man parents talks in the skits, you could definitely relate. You could relate coming from the inner city. So, like I said, lyrics are on point, production is good. He had some production from Hit Boy, production from Soundwave. Pharrell did one track. Um, I love him. I'm glad, and I'm also glad that he didn't, even though he has J Rock on one song, which is a dope record as well. Money Trees. I'm glad he didn't have the hippies all over the album. Like, this is his debut album. I think, you know, it was his chance for people to get to know him more. Like, black hippies are coming. When they come, it's gonna be crazy. I'm sure of that. But I'm glad he didn't have Schoolboy Q all over it, and even Ab-Soul. I'm glad he just kept the features to a minimum and just had J Rock. So again, I feel like if you love hip hop and if you definitely one of the people that have been complaining about it, I think you should go out and support this, man. Like, if you don't support this, you don't love hip hop, because I don't care where you're from, north, south, east, west, whatever. Like, this is just a great album, and I just think you really need to go support it. You support albums like this. You support albums like Life is Good and The Dream Deferred and all these, a lot of albums that don't get the attention that they deserve. It raises the bar for other artists to step up, and for radio stations and whatever video networks out there now, BET or whoever, to give these artists a light, give them some shine, because he did the same music he's done since the past 3 or 4 years. He has not changed his style at all. And also go to show that you don't have to, sell your soul to get quick spins or quick ends. You have to be yourself. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing and with the same beats and the same storyline. I was a drug dealer, now I'm a rapper, or I'm in the gang. This kid is just himself, talking about him being himself and the things he went through in a bad city. So it definitely stays in the iPod. I'm going to go buy the physical copy myself, and I love it. This is by far, earlier in the year I said Life Was Good was the best album of 2012. Well, Life Was Good is number two, and this is definitely the best album of 2012. I don't see any new releases coming out that's is gonna be better than this. So go support it, man. Go spend the $10. Go iTunes, get the damn album. It's a great album. Kudos to Kendrick Lamar, Aftermath, and his camp in TDE. And we just gotta see what the hippies are gonna do next. So DJ Rell Life, and this was Kendrick Lamar. Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. Pick it up. Sign it off.